Hello and welcome to another pub snack size edition of Dis After Dark. I am Nick.
I'm Paul D.
I'm Paul W.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Amanda, aka BostonWhite.
Indeed. No Mr. Lucas, because we found a much better replacement. You know, and as she's also a Scouser, no one's going to know the difference.
No, pretty much the same.
Yeah. I mean, younger, prettier, not as annoying. But other than that, very, very similar to Craig. So this is the final, I believe, of the show that we never thought would ever end. That being, of course, the ultimate Disney resort. So what we're going to do is we'll go through the finalists as they are, give the last results out, and then we've all taken one of the results, and we're going to talk about a little bit about that, and then we'll tell you how to vote, really. So, Mr. Ripley, over to you.
Over to me. What do we want to do? We want to do the results?
Let's start with the results, because if we start talking about the finalists, that's going to kind of kick the results thing a little bit. Well, it's a good guessing game, I suppose, see if people have been paying attention, but I suppose really in the interest of fairness we should just reveal who's actually made it through to the final six. Well,
last week the three that got knocked out were Port Orleans Riverside, Disney's Old Key West Resort.
No.
Sorry.
Should have voted for.
Hang on a second. I'm opening my bottle. Since we didn't do that, I'm opening my bottle in commiserations of that. Cheers.
Your last one?
And the last one that didn't get any votes whatsoever was Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground.
Wow. You got your work cut out there. Not even a single vote. No one likes you.
No, nobody. In fact, nobody.
You are the new Coke of the Disney resorts.
Yeah.
You are the Alice through the Looking Glass. No, let's not say that, because I mean the film could be good. It's just not doing very well. But, yeah.
So our six finalists are, in no particular order, Boardwalk Villas, Contemporary Resort, Polynesian Village Resort, Beach Club, Yacht Club, and the Art of Animation.
Wow, that really was in no particular order, so you did that quite well. At first, it sounded almost alphabetical, and I was going to correct you there, but then you swung out, going back to the V's, so it's all good. It's all good. So that's it. That's your final six. So we talked before the show, and we each picked one out, and we're going to talk about those. That's not necessarily the one that we will be voting for ourselves. Let's try not to sabotage things, though, boys and girls. But we'll all go through ours, and then I suppose at the end we can then do our own little vote about who we'd like to see win overall of the final six, and then we'll throw it open to you, the public. So do you want to go in a particular order, Chris? Do you want to?
The order is what I just read out. So Boardwalk Villas would be first.
Okay, so Mr. D, if you're ready to go.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Boardwalk Villas is obviously part of the DVC range of properties. Great location. We've talked about that before. It's probably the best thing about the Boardwalk Villas. It is a 5-minute walk to Epcot, probably about a 15-20 minute walk to the studios if you want to do that. You got the boardwalk right on your doorstep, obviously, with some great eating and entertainment options. You got a signature restaurant. You got quite a few other restaurants like ESPN. You got the new Trattoria, which used to be Cucina, and before that it was Spoodles. Was it anything before Spoodles? Can anybody remember?
Don't think so.
Spoodles sounds like a great name for somewhere.
Yeah, it didn't last though.
What a shame.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, the prices kind of range from a studio at $414, right up to a 3-bed up to about $2,400. So quite pricey, but I guess the bigger accommodations hold more people. So if you can get a group together, split them.
So was that for a week or?
No, I think that's per night, isn't it?
What? $2,000 a night?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I'll tell
Studios.
you who probably wouldn't charge you that though. Our
Who's
friend,
that?
friend Wendy
Tell
at Magical
me.
Journeys.
Tell me more.
I bet she wouldn't. No. That's it. It's the mini plugs to the mini shows.
All right.
MagicalJourneys.com.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay. All right. So, never stayed at this resort, but would like to, just mainly because of the location, really, and some of the activities. Obviously, one of the things you can do on the boardwalk is you can hire the Surrey bikes. I don't live in Surrey. I live in the next county. I live in Sussex, but I'd still hire a Surrey bike and pedal it along the boardwalk.
Their slogan for that should be hire one of these bikes, you won't be sorry.
Oh.
Wow.
They don't get any better, folks. They don't get any better than that. Well, not for me anyway. Does anyone? Because although we're all focusing on our own results even, at the same time, I think it's reasonable enough that if people want to kind of add things or voice their own opinions of these, they can do as they go along. Does anybody want to say anything about this particular locale?
Paul's going to book it for his run that he's doing next November, aren't you, Paul?
I wish. Those prices, I really do wish.
I'll say that it's got a brilliant bar at the boardwalk. Keep it on topic.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice bar. It's got
Is that the Bellevue?
I can't. I'm trying to look up the name. I couldn't find it. It's got I remember it had like Cluedo and Monopoly and different games in there.
Yeah, there's one called the Bellevue Room.
That must be it then.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a lovely resort though, boardwalk.
Yeah. Still don't like the clown pool, but there we are.
Yeah, that's very weird.
It's called the Keister Coaster.
The Keister Coaster.
Yeah.
Such a weird name.
It is. I was going to make up a story about how somebody got killed on that Keister Coaster. A bit like It, if anybody ever saw that film. But,
they're just remaking that, aren't they?
yeah.
Do you know what I thought you said at first?
What?
E.T. Et. And I was like thinking, I don't remember Et having that in it.
Remaking it, man.
We all float down here.
It made sense afterwards, yeah. Yeah, and of course, who starred in it? Our good friend of the show,
Tim Curry.
actor that doesn't have a restraining order out against us, Tim Curry, yeah.
Yeah, how's he doing these days? Is he all right now?
I saw him do the Rocky Horror 40th anniversary thing, and he's talking again, but he's not. It doesn't sound like Tim Curry.
Yeah.
The stroke
he's
obviously
doing
affected this.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
But he's doing he's the narrator, isn't he, for the Fox special they're doing this year. That like the TV networks in America do these live musicals now. It's the popular thing because we have literally gone round in a complete circle to the 50s, and they're doing Rocky Horror as a live musical with some celebrities and whatnot, and he will be the narrator for that. So which will of course be great to see. So,
Fun fact: my absolute favourite film ever is Clue. I'm
a big fan of Clue. A big fan of Clue.
Tim Curry film.
It is, yeah. I mean, my favourite film of all time is obviously Home Alone 2: Lost in New York, because it has both Tim Curry and Donald Trump in it, and how many films can say that? Not really.
How many Oscars did that one win?
9. It took the Titanic and Lord of the Rings and Avatar to knock it off its perch. Shame, but all for best hair. No, the boardwalk. What I think about the boardwalk is that I think it's very unique in its layout. Like we talked before about places like the Pop Century and Port Orleans and all these places. And they all have similar things. They've got eateries and they've got shops and all this kind of stuff. But the boardwalk has a boardwalk, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I think that's really what kind of sets it out from those different places. So
well, it's a great little centre. I think a lot of people overlook it, and it's a shame. It's definitely, if you've never been there, it's definitely worth a visit. And it's great for access to Epcot. You go up the side door, the International Gateway, and you enter the park. You just enter about the bridge to France, so that's where you come in if you've never come in that way.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So we've talked about it before about the pros, but yeah, like you say, the location of it, to where it is to Epcot and the Studios is it's very good. It's very good. Yeah, so I personally think quite a strong contender.
But don't ever do what I do, which is you've got a reservation in Showcase for dinner, and that you pretend you've got a reservation at the boardwalk so you can park there and walk the short distance to your restaurant in Epcot.
Never ever do that.
Don't ever do that, kids.
Oh, no, never.
No.
Wouldn't recommend that at all.
Because you take up all the spaces that I need.
Yeah. So it used to be you could say that you had a reservation, or that you were going to eat at Beaches and Cream, because they wouldn't accept reservations. So you knew you were safe then, but they've changed that now. And actually, if anybody is going to Walt Disney World and wants to eat at Beaches and Cream, you need to book that up at your 180-day mark.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. You wouldn't think so, but yeah, and it is a small restaurant. If you've ever been in there, they don't have that many tables, but we did manage to get an ADR for October, but I've tried to go back in and get a slightly later one. No chance.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, something to bear in mind.
Guess people like ice cream.
They do like ice cream. Who doesn't like ice cream? And also that's where you get the kitchen sink, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, very popular. Yes. Although you can hear Flynn's he's being very vocal. He loves ice cream. I think that's what he's saying. I'm not fluent in dog. So, Mr. Ripley, who was up next?
Up next would be the Contemporary Resort.
Oh, so that would be myself. Cool. So the Contemporary. Well, again, one that we've talked about quite a lot on this show. Its main thing surely is its location. Nearest hotel to the parks. Literally overlooking. Prices, I've actually got those. So I'm not sure how recent these are. These were taken, I think, the end of last year, so I'm not sure if they've changed too much. But a garden wing standard room ranges between $356 and $468 per night. But in holidays, you can add another $100 to that one. Garden room in the same wing, same 385 to 546. A king room 444 to 609. Deluxe 444 to 609. And then we've got the price of the Tower Bay as well, which goes up to 542 upwards. So not particularly cheap hotel. A bit more expensive than what we was looking at the Boardwalk. But then you do have those other things that we did talk about. Famous things about the Contemporary. It's got that massive mural by Mary Blair. It opened. It's 1,800 square foot. Made of 1,800 square foot tiles. And how long do you reckon it took to construct it?
A really long time.
6 months.
Longer than that, Mr. D.
1 year.
Longer than that?
Really?
It took 18 months. So
Right.
what's that?
Oh, blimey.
100 tiles a month,
Wow.
roughly, about that. So yeah, took quite a long time to get that there. Did you know that it wasn't originally called, or it wasn't going to be called the Contemporary?
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was something similar though, wasn't it? What was it going to be
Not a
called?
million miles apart, actually. It was going to be called the Tempo Bay Hotel.
Right.
Not sure exactly why, but the working title was the Contemporary Hotel. And apparently when Roy heard the official name was going to be the Tempo Bay, he said it sounded phony, and the civil name was better. So there you go. And apparently it was actually based on a building design from the original model of Epcot. It was going to be the shopping centre in Epcot.
Yeah,
That's
didn't know that.
interesting.
Yeah.
So that kind of explains the shape of it and everything. Obviously, we've talked about the California Grill and how it's one of the better places to go if you want some posh nosh and want to watch the fireworks on the private balcony. But what was it called before, Mr. D? Or what was there before the California Grill?
Oh yeah, the Top of the World Club, was it?
Top of the World was the restaurant,
Yeah.
and very popular it was. It used to have a dinner show that was called
Didn't know that.
Broadway
Yeah.
at the Top,
Wow.
and featured Vegas-style performers. So I'm guessing that meant, a tribute act to Sammy Davis Jr., a tribute act to Frank Sinatra, a tribute act to Dean Martin, because this was like the 80s and early 90s. It closed in 1993 and became the California Grill shortly thereafter. So, so there's that as well. Made of concrete, and apparently when they first started making it, there was some fungus within the concrete, and
This sounded a bit like Shanghai. They had problems with their concrete as well, didn't they?
yeah, they did actually. That's a good point. Yeah. Did you know it used to feature a movie theatre, a giant arcade, and a 24-hour snack bar?
I did not.
It's called the Fiesta Fun Centre. I don't know what the cinema, like how big the cinema was, but I can't imagine it was going to be. It could have been that big. But
Yeah.
but there you go. And the North Garden wing became the Bay Lake Tower as well. If we didn't know that. So that's my kind of facts for that one. But some of us have stayed there. We talked about when Mr. Ripley went there fairly recently. I think its main points are it's on the monorail. You can walk there. And it's probably the most... It's almost like a landmark.
I'm not a crook.
I am not a crook. It's almost like a landmark to me, because I think it's such an unusual shaped building, and it's so close to the park that it almost feels like it's part of the park, although it's not. It's clearly not. But so that's pretty much what I wanted to say about the Contemporary.
Good one.
Did anyone want to add?
I like going fishing from there.
Do you catch many three-eyed fish or anything in there? Or
No,
wrong water, isn't it?
No. We head out from the Contemporary usually. They also do a fishing competition, which I actually won once.
Wow.
Yeah. I got a little trophy and everything.
I did not know that. So if you like fishing, the Contemporary could be the one you want to vote for then.
You wouldn't think it, would you? A big posh concrete building, but yeah. It's because it's got the big harbour out the back, I think.
Okay, that's interesting. I never knew that. Yes.
I saw a snake there once as well.
You saw a snake there.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you saw like a lizard or something, I wouldn't be very impressed, because they are literally everywhere. That was the thing that I think most surprised me the first I went to Orlando, was how many little geckos and lizards and newts and everything else that are just everywhere.
Well, I was on a sun lounger, and there was this. I was just laying there reading, I don't know, a book or something, And not far from me, a few feet away, this great big long black snake comes slithering out. So I panic and run up to the pool attendant. Nobody else is bothered. Run up to the pool attendant. I said, look, there's this, what about that? What are you going to do something about it? And I'll never forget, she went, if it's black, you're coming back. If it's red, you're dead. And I've never forgotten that.
Do you remember
we saw the black one at Blizzard Beach. There was a little crowder on it, but they just came with one of those, those things that you pick up litter with.
Oh yeah.
The little trigger on it, the little claw. Yeah, they just picked it up and off it went.
I googled it. They're not venomous, but they still bite.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's still gonna, cause you a bit of grief. Do you take that advice when you go and play roulette?
Sometimes.
Well, I don't know how you'd apply it, but just because the red and black. Okay. Cool. Well, I think we'll leave that there for the contemporary then. In that case, who we got next?
Polynesian, and that would be moi. Aloha.
Aloha.
Yeah, that's what they say when you walk in the Polynesian. They often put a load of flowers around your neck, don't they?
Oh, how cute.
Anybody stayed there?
No.
No.
I think it's technically Disney's oldest resort, because I think it was the first one to actually have paying guests in.
Oh, okay.
Only by a few days, I believe. But prices, I looked up, start from $452 per night for a standard view lodge room, right up to $1,100 a night for a club level room. It was designed, so they say, similar to the contemporary, with the slotting of the rooms in and out for refurbishments, but neither have ever had that happen. They've never been able to.
I don't think they can get them out now, can they? I think they've swollen, and with the heat and the humidity.
Yeah, I yeah.
Nice idea.
It is. Yeah, it sounds good, doesn't it? But no, I mean, contemporary probably would have been slightly easier because you can probably get around the buildings easier. But Polynesia, there's so many pools and pathways and things. It's difficult to manoeuvre. There's 8 longhouses outside the main lodge, and I don't think I can pronounce all of them. I'll give it a go. There's Balihae, Bora Bora, Fiji, Hawaii, Maui, Samoa, Tahiti, and Tonga. I think there's another one as well. Was there another one? Oh no, they got the DVC one, which is DVC ones are Moorea, Pangu Pangu, Tokilu, and Bora Bora.
Oh, you did a good job pronouncing them, Chris.
I've
Did
never
he
been to
know?
Hawaii.
Like, no one's going to know, are they? That's the thing. No one here is going to correct you on that one.
Proper Disney nerds will know. They've recently just had the DVC expansion, which was they converted some of the outer buildings to DVC studios, and then they built those bungalows along the beach, which they're a bit like Marmite. Some people love them, some people hate them, but nobody can afford to stay in them.
Apart from Lentester.
But Lentester said his was $10,000 a night. Was that right?
What?
Yeah, something like that.
Ridiculous. He said that he checked in late because there was a computer error with Disney by about an hour or an hour and a half, and he worked it out that it cost so many hundreds of dollars that he could have gone to another resort and for a whole night.
It's crazy.
Crazy. Everybody loves the dining at the Poly. I think top of everyone's list is Ohana, which does breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Particularly good for dinner. They do my favourite, which is the bread and butter pudding, which you can also get at the Kona Cafe next door if you ask them really nicely. They've got Captain Cook's there. They've got various other little bars and lounges and cafes, but the piece de resistance is Trader Sam's Grog Grotto, which is absolutely flipping fantastic. I advise nobody to go there because it fills up really quickly, and I like going there.
There's a theme here.
Yeah, but it is brilliant. It's like having a beer or a cocktail inside Pirates of the Caribbean. You know, it's a little bit like a very small version of the Nautilus attraction at Disneyland Paris. It's that kind of theme.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've got the animatronic octopus, and you've got the effects, and all the servers are singing and shouting and telling jokes and, you know, making people at the bar do stupid things with paddles and snorkels and things. But it is really good. It is really, really good. They just had their pool refurbed, so the pool's all brand new. They've got 2 large pools, Lava Pool and the Oasis. And there's a couple of fun facts I found. One for you, Amanda. This was the actual location where the Beatles broke up.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where John Lennon was staying with Yoko Ono and whoever else, and he actually signed the paperwork to, you know, fully break up. That was Christmas 1974.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah. And the other thing that I found out that was quite interesting was that the originally built, but was only used for the first few weeks, they actually spent a fortune putting in a wave machine into the lake. So you could go out into the lake swimming, which of course you can't do now, but at the time they used to let them swim in the lake. But this thing they put in used to create waves for people to do surfing. I don't know if anyone's heard this story before.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I've not heard the story before, but
No,
it makes sense when you think about it.
Didn't it wash away the beach?
It did, yeah, literally. They spent all this money putting it in, and within a couple of weeks, all of that lovely white sand was completely washed away.
Do you know where that white sand comes from?
Wasn't it right at the very depths of the land when they...
Yeah, it doesn't come from a beach on the Gulf Coast or anything like that. It comes from the bottom of the lakes.
Wow.
Yeah,
They just dredged it up, and it's beautiful white sand.
yeah. Oh, that's good. And that actual wave machine is still there. And when you actually you go out on say you're doing a fireworks cruise or you're going fishing, you actually see it. You can see how much money it must have cost to put in. Hello?
Hello, Sailor.
Hello? That sounds like we're in Trader Sam's. And I think I've covered everything.
You know who opened it?
Who opened it?
Yeah, who dedicated it when it first opened in '71? Bob
Don't
Hope.
know. Who was it?
Bob Hope.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Britain's
And there's a
very
connection. There's a connection to Universal here because Lucille Ball was there as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I know that back in the day when they first opened, I think most of the celebs did actually stay at the Polynesian.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyone been there for dinner or shopping or?
Yeah.
You know what? I want to go to Trader Sam's this year. Definitely.
Oh, one top tip if you're British.
Which I am.
For all our British, would that happen? For our British listeners, you need to take. Doesn't matter how old you are. You need to bring with you a photo ID and a copy of your passport.
Both?
Yeah, you need both. It's state law. So they're very anal about it. And it can be, like I've done, it can be a digital copy of your passport. So if you take a photo of it, leave it on your phone. That's what I did.
I'd say this is the difference in shows nowadays. You said they're very anal about it, and no one made a joke. So this is when you know you haven't got a show with Craig on it.
Well, no, a funny story. We went there because I'm early 30s. I went there with my partner. She's the same age, and there was this older man at the counter. You know how in Florida sometimes certain people should have retired by now, but kind of don't. They keep going, and he was adamant. He wanted to see my passport, my driver's license, blah blah blah. I wouldn't let us in until I'd got them. Anyway, didn't have any of it. So I thought, right, next day I'll go back. I'll have everything. So next day I go back, and there was these 2 young kids basically on the counter, like bouncers at the door. And I had all my paperwork ready, and I went, right, here it is. And they went, oh God, you don't need any paperwork. In you go.
I I think I'm okay. Hey, another top tip, and I think I've mentioned this one before, but it is actually two things, I guess. One is it's a really good place for a break if you're in the Magic Kingdom and it's a hot day. Take the monorail with the Polynesian, go downstairs, and is it Captain Cook's, the quick service place?
Yeah.
Have lunch there. You can't go in the pool, but you can sit around the pool. And then another top tip is it's a great place to watch Wishes, the beach at the Polynesian, and they actually pipe in the music similar to California Grill. So you can sit on the beach, and they've got hammocks on the beach, and you can watch Wishes. So good view.
They have changed one thing. I don't think you can sit around the pool anymore.
No?
I think they put a fence around it.
Okay.
When they refurbed it recently.
Yeah.
Which is a bit annoying.
Yeah. But they've got a couple of beaches as well by Bay Lake.
Yeah.
They got sun lounges and things like that. So we've gone there early before Ohana's and just kind of chilled out on the lounges by the beach or the hammocks by the beach, waiting for dinner. So it is a good place for a little break from the park.
Also, well, two things I wanted to mention. One, did they just controversially change the hotel reception recently?
Yes, they did, yeah.
Or removed the water feature.
They've taken out the original water feature, yeah.
So that might have upset a few people. But also, isn't it one of the only locations you can get a Dole Whip?
Outside the theme park, yeah, it is, yeah.
Quite right.
Which have just started doing in Disneyland Paris, apparently.
Well,
yeah.
It's not a Dole Whip, according to everybody else.
Lou Dole Whip? The Whippy Dole?
It's vanilla ice cream with pineapple juice on it.
Oh, what?
So, yeah, not really a Dole Whip.
A Monsieur Softy.
I can't remember what the French word is for flake, unfortunately. Yeah, so it's got that going for it as well. But yeah, okay. Anyone else wanted to add anything? There's quite a lot of facts there, but if there was anything else.
Yeah, I want to know what Chris's favourite drink was at Trader Sam's.
Good question.
My favourite drink, I actually bought the glass. Let me
Foster's.
look it. Yeah, Foster's. No, they because you can, when you order your drinks, you can actually order them. They all come in the special glasses, but you can order them to take the glass with you, basically. Well, you don't take it with you. You drink out of it, you hand it back, and then when you go to leave, they give you a ticket, and then they give you a brand new one in a box that's all packaged up. My favourite drink is the Krakatoa Punch.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's like a volcano with lava running down the sides. There's little bloke screaming and shouting. The hippopotam Mai Tai is quite nice.
Did you try the pearl?
I didn't order a pearl. I tried a Nautilus. That was okay. It was quite strong, though. I also tried the Shrunken Zombie Head. Well, I am the author of Halloween Horror Nights, so I better try that one, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're all good. Basically, they all have rum, so if you don't like rum, you're a bit buggered.
Oh, well, I happen to love rum, so I'll be alright.
The thing is, people say that, but I mean, when it comes to cocktails, normally it's quite hard to tell something like rum's in it anyway. So don't let it put it off completely. But I know what you're saying. Yeah. On that note, actually, talking about exotic drinks, has anyone tried yet a Corona Rita?
Yeah.
I love a Corona Rita.
Bahama Breeze, and I think I had one at Bubba Gump's as well. They are awesome.
Yeah, I had one at Bubba Gump's.
They're so good.
For those that aren't too sure, even though it's pretty much in the name, it's a margarita, but with a bottle of Corona stuck in it.
I know. I just googled it. That's amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
God, that's
and I
so
mean,
good.
it is like I had one, and one was enough. One was enough.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like
So,
buy one get one free, isn't it?
yeah. So as you literally as you drink the margarita, more beer kind of comes into the cocktail. Because obviously it can't leave the bottle until there's room in the glass. So, yeah, you're basically just topping yourself up. Yeah.
They do it at Bahama Breeze today, Amanda.
Yeah, yeah.
Did not know.
In
that.
October at Bahama Breeze, they have Rumtober. And so all the rum drinks as well are all loads cheaper.
If you're in the UK and want to have one at Bubba Gump's, you have to ask for a Solarita because they don't have Corona over here in Bubba Gump's in the UK for some reason. I don't know why, but you get a bottle of Sol instead. Still tastes good though. So alcohol is alcohol. Right, Mr. Ripley, what one is next?
I think Amanda's up next with the Beach and Yacht Club.
Yeah, so I'm doing both because people tend to just kind of lump them both together. And I've never stayed at either of them, but if I was going to stay on site, I would 100% stay at the Beach Club. I think that looks like my kind of place. So both of them built in 1990, and they're both made in a kind of New England style. So they're both pretty to look at. They share amenities, so they share pools. They share an awesome pirate ship slide, which looks pretty cool. I don't know if anyone's seen it as they're visiting the boardwalk, but it looks pretty awesome. And there's quite a few cool places to eat there as well. So there's Cruise Cup, that seems to be pretty popular, and that's like a bar lounge kind of place. And they have a character dining, which I haven't really heard much about, so I'm guessing it's a little bit underrated, or maybe it's just not that good, I don't know. And it's Cape May Cafe, so you can go and have breakfast with the characters there, and it's a seafood buffet in the night. You can, and Chris, you might like this, have a private fishing experience at the yacht club, and you can hire little boats from the marina and have a little nice day out.
Oh, I didn't know they did fishing from there.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool. They have a lazy river, so that's good. And it's a nice place to walk around Crescent Lake, so you can walk around the boardwalk, you can walk past Swan and Dolphin, through the yacht club, through the beach club, and then you'll go right into Epcot. It's like a 2-minute walk from Epcot. So location-wise, that's like the main reason why I'd want to stay there, really, because Epcot's my favourite park. And you can get the friendship boat, so you can get the friendship boat over to Hollywood Studios. Everything about it, really. Pretty awesome. Has anyone stayed there?
Yeah, I've stayed there. Yeah, I've stayed at both.
Have you?
Yeah, the beach is definitely better than the yacht.
Yeah, I feel like I was watching some videos today, and I got the impression that Beach Club looked better. It looked a bit more kid-friendly for those that have families. I got the impression that the Yacht Club looked a little bit businessy, because I know that they share a convention centre in the middle of them, and I got the impression that that's kind of where most of the business-type people would go and hang out in Cruise Cup.
It's also where they put all the celebrities, Yacht Club.
Is it?
It's because they've got such long corridors. They can sort of block out a load of rooms, and if you're, an A-lister on holiday, you can have the whole wing to yourself, and no one knows you're down there.
Ah, I see. Well, I priced it up for a week, so I priced it as if I was going to book it for this year when I'm already going. And for 1 week at Beach Club, it was £2,518. And for 1 week at Yacht Club, it was £2,530. So pretty expensive.
Mr. Lucas is off there for 2 weeks next year.
Well, that's
Blimey.
why he's doing all these extra shifts.
Yeah, that's why he's never here on a Sunday.
Yeah, gotta
Double
save
time.
up. But they've got a spa and a salon as well, so if you wanted to go and get your hair done, you could. or go for a little massage, you could. They've got a gym. They even have a kids club. So from 4 until midnight, you can leave your kids as long as they're between 3 and 12, and they'll look after them in the Sandcastle Club.
I don't know if I'd want to be leaving my 3-year-old till midnight, but that's just me.
Well, it's there if you wanted to. If you want to go drinking around the world, you can.
Page in the McCanns.
Hey, it's there. But another cute thing that they do at the beach club is you can arrange to have a family photo shoot done. So a photographer will follow you around the resort and just take loads of cute pictures of you. And that's pretty cool. Like your little photo pass.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and they're both deluxe resorts too. And like I said, they pretty much share all of their amenities. So they share the pools. You can hop between restaurants. Basically, I guess it just depends on which one you like the look of the best.
Or which one you can afford. I'm guessing there'll be a slight price difference.
Slight. It's about £12.
Ow.
So there's not a lot in it.
I wonder why it was
That's a
12 quid.
Snack or something, I don't know.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very strange. Very
It
strange.
is, but the beach club has DVC suites as well. So you get a kitchen and a washing machine and things like that in them. There's 282 DVC rooms, 583 regular rooms.
Well, that's
Yeah.
pretty comprehensive, especially for someone that's never stayed there.
Yeah, did a lot of research today.
Very good. Just putting us to shame even more. Never mind. Was there anything that anyone else wanted to add to that, or are we content?
No, that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I believe that leaves one person and one person only. Now, I know currently this person's probably quite busy watching some of these videos, but Mr. Washington, it is time for you to talk about your result.
Yep, so the last one we've got in the final is the Art of Animation. It's the newest resort to be built. It's also our only non-deluxe hotel to make the final.
So it is very good, yeah.
Yeah, it was. It's built on Hourglass Lake, and it was originally meant to be the second half of Pop Century. It was originally meant to be the legendary years, but due to 9/11, building work got stopped, and eventually it opened in the summer of 2012. In stages, it opened across the summer over about 6 months. So it's set into 4 different sections. So we've got the Little Mermaid rooms, which are the standard rooms. And they kind of range from about $128 a night during the week to $158 at the weekend at the quietest times. And then at the busiest times over the holiday season, as we all know, is the busiest, it goes up to $228 a night. The next sections, we've got the Lion King and the Cars family suites. They range from $312 during the week and $349 at the weekend to about $522 during the holiday season. And again, same as like the Beach and Yacht Club, the Finding Nemo family suites are slightly more expensive by about $11, which is doesn't make sense. They start at $323 during the week to $360 at the weekend, up to $533 during the holiday season. Obviously, with it being a value, the location isn't great. It's not particularly near any of the parks as such compared to the other ones that have made the final. And I think mainly with it being new, I think it is currently the most popular value resort. As we've said previously on these shows, getting one of the Little Mermaid rooms is a nightmare. Whenever you look, there's none available. Tends to be the suites, and I think that is due to the fact that there are a about 400 more suites than there are Little Mermaid rooms.
What is the difference between a suite and a room?
I think they've
Sweet.
the suites have got a offset bedroom.
Oh, right.
It's kind of like 2 rooms together.
Yeah.
Because they put in suites first at the All-Star Sports, I think it was. And they basically knocked 2 rooms together, or joined 2 rooms together. So you get a bedroom, and then you get like a bedroom stroke lounge with a little kitchenette. So you can sleep, I don't know, is it 7 or 8?
Yeah, I think so.
But when I've priced them out, I don't know, I just can't make it work really, because you can rent 2 rooms, so 2 adjoining rooms in a value resort like one of the All Stars or Pop Century for less money than you can rent a suite. So, and not sure. I think it's something that people should look at when they're thinking about renting a suite. Doesn't make sense to me, but hey, might work for some people.
No. And as I said, there's the 4 different themes. You've got the Little Mermaid in the standard rooms, then you've got Lion King, Cars, and Finding Nemo. They've all got their own themed pools. The Finding Nemo one's the one with the music underneath the water, so I think that's quite popular for people. Something a bit different to anywhere else. But really, yeah. The other thing is the dining is the food court is fairly popular amongst people. I think it's probably the highest rated food court across the value resorts. The landscape of flavours seems to have a varied range of different foods there.
Yeah, we've eaten there a couple of times. It is good. It's very good for a value resort food court.
Do you think it'd be really embarrassing if you were staying at the Finding Nemo section of the resort and you went drinking around the world and got lost?
Probably. It'd be rather embarrassing, wouldn't it?
I mean, don't get me wrong, it'd be pretty embarrassing wherever you say, but just the irony of doing it there, I suppose, would probably eat me up a little bit. I mean, I really like the idea of the resort, and I know why it's popular, but as Mr. D said, like, you seem to be paying an awful premium for staying in a very character-driven hotel, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, the suites might work quite well if you've got like a big group that don't mind, sharing the same space, because I think they've got like a sofa bed, and then there's a couple of pull-out chairs that make like pull-out single beds. So if you've got a big family, then great, it might work out cost-effective. But if there's only like 4 of you, it's probably better to go Pop Century and get 2 adjoining rooms, I would have thought.
Maybe aim more at those young families. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I suppose.
I think if you look at it, you'd probably, if you've only got 4 people, you'd be better off moving up to a moderate resort.
Yeah.
Because you can fit 4 people in a moderate resort.
Yeah.
And they're about the same price.
Yeah, that's true, Paul. Yeah, you're probably right.
So, and you'd get, obviously with the free dining and stuff, I think you'd be looking at the moderate resorts for the same price and going, well, I get free food for that.
That's true.
So,
do you though? Do you get free food, or is that the ultimate con? You're paying for it in your hotel.
Well, it's
if you look at it that way,
isn't it?
Yeah, if you look at it that way, you either a value suite or a moderate resort, then yeah, you'd be looking at it as free food, wouldn't you? If it's the same price.
Yes. Yeah, true.
But you gotta trade up. So it's a good deal if you want to be in a moderate or a deluxe resort or a DVC anyway. But if you just want to stay on site and you don't care where you stay, then a value resort and paying for the dining plan or just buy your meals is going to be your cheapest option, I think. So it's like, it's not completely free, but we liked it because we were able to get up to like Old Key West, which is a deluxe villa, and it was like you weren't paying the full price of the dining plan. So it's a deal, but I think you got to check it out for yourself to see if it's the right deal for you.
It certainly does depend on what kind of meals you're having as well. We did the last time we were moderate, so we had the quick service, and to me, that seemed a little bit lacking. I don't think you want to be eating 2 quick service meals a day.
No, I think that's okay if you're like based in the US and you're going for like 4 nights or something like that. That's probably okay. But typical British visitor going for 2 weeks or longer, 2 weeks of quick service, I think that would that'd get a bit stale, I think.
Yeah.
Also, as well, I think with any of these things, it really depends. And Amanda, you're a good one for this, but of how long you're planning to be on property for. Because if you are going to, even if you're staying on property, if you're going to be spending 4 days at Universal, 2 days at SeaWorld and Aquatica during your 2-week stay, are you going to see the benefit of free dining?
No, that's it. That's like probably another reason why I haven't really bothered so much with staying on site at Disney, because that wouldn't be a perk to me, really.
Yeah.
Although it's a big perk to some people, and they will just get the dining plan and they'll take like a minimal amount of spending money. I don't think I'd benefit from the dining plan.
But
And
that's
not
another
because
topic.
I spend a lot of time off site, but because I don't like eating at the park.
Yes, because of your dietary reasons. I'm the same as you, but mine's more because I like Popeye's chicken too much. So until I open one of those on property, I'm a bit screwed. But yeah, I mean that's really another topic for another show, I think. But so to recap, the 6 finalists are the Boardwalk Villas, the Contemporary, the Polynesian, the Beach and Yacht, because we'll group those together, and finally the Art of Animation. So that is what it's come down to. Is anyone shocked at the top 6?
I'm surprised Art of Animation's still in there. But then I guess it depends who it comes up against, and that's always the thing about a knockout.
I think I get Art of Animation for its theming, as I said before, like compared to other hotels. There's no other hotels that have that kind of theming, so I get it. I do get it. But I am surprised that we saw no Port Orleans at all.
Yeah, that
It's
is
always been
surprising.
such a popular one when you talk to people that I'm surprised that one didn't make the cut. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at the Beach and Yacht Club, because to me it's always just kind of been it's one that no one ever talks about. Really.
Yeah.
It's one. It's almost like more people visit it than stay there. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a convention centre and that. Yeah. So that was what surprised me, but okay. So yeah, so I think we'll kind of wrap that up. So the voting will be open when the show goes out.
Yep.
So that's cool. In that case,
We're going to do our votes.
yes, yeah. So if we want to start, we'll go in the order that we went in initially. So Mr. D, hearing everything, who is going to be your ultimate result?
Well, I talked so eloquently about the boardwalk, I'm going to vote for the Polynesian. No, I've always wanted to stay at the Polynesian. I think it's a great looking resort, and the location's fantastic, isn't it? Right on the monorail, right by the Magic Kingdom. That's the one for me.
The thing is with the Polynesian, prior to them changing the name and refurbing it, it was a little bit tired and a bit like, I don't think I'd want to stay there. But they've taken it and they have made it even better. So, It is a really good resort.
Well, look at him. He's trying to, he's already had a vote for it, and he's still trying to push it on everyone else. Well, I thought I spoke very eloquently about the contemporary, but I'm also voting for the Polynesian. Again, like Mr. D said, it's one that's always interested me. I'd like to, if there was something to do with Stitch there. I think they could have tied something in there, just a little something, like, I don't know, play area or something. But
he's at the character breakfast.
Yes, yes, no, that's true. But I think the bar sounds amazing. It's always impressed me, looking at it. So I think the Polynesian gets my vote.
Cool.
I'm going to go with the Polynesian.
The Polynesian?
Yeah.
Not the beach Polynesian. The Polynesian.
I will go with the beach club. I'll be different.
Fair enough. She's read so much of it today that she's like obsessed with it now.
And plus, that's where I want to stay. So if I'm going to stay at the winner, I want to stay at Beach Club.
No, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yep. Mr. Washington?
I'm going to round out with another vote for the Polynesian.
Oh, that's quite a sweeping statement right there. But it's not just down to us. As you said, dear listeners, it's also down to you. So if you want to go and visit our Facebook page, and the poll is on there, and please make your votes. And in 2 weeks we will come back announcing the winner. I think that's the aim, isn't it? I think
so, yeah.
Up our sleeves in 2 weeks' time anyway, so we'll tie it in. But yeah, so you've got 2 weeks. And if you haven't already, that's our normal Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Dis After Dark. And of course, we've got our sister group as well, just for you people listening to the podcast right now, which is the unofficial DADS Army. So come find us there. And you can chat about the show. So, guys, thank you very much. It's been.
Can I just say quickly?
Yes.
Last week we all voted for the Old Key West, and that didn't get through to the final. So our votes probably mean nothing.
There is that, but I do think the Polynesian's a popular one. I've not seen all the scoring, so I don't know how it fared in other rounds. But I think even the fact that we like it, so that means bad news. I think it's got a good chance, but we'll see. We could be surprised.
Looking at the rounds, it topped at least 2 of the 3 before.
But people might love Amanda, and so go, well, whatever she says goes.
True.
Yeah. Maybe they want to pay for me to stay there as well.
Well, again, if you want to do that, you can email those details at podcast@disafterdark.com.
And also, she was the only one that did any research, so perhaps we should all vote for the Beach Club.
To be fair, I did do a little bit of research. But
I wore my fingers to the bone.
I did mine once we started.
Multitasking, watching videos and doing that at the same time.
And Soccer Aid.
And Soccer Aid.
Oh, is that
what you're drinking tonight? Soccer Aid. I did watch a bit of that earlier, actually. So But what was the final score?
3-2 to England.
Oh, boring first half. I'm glad it picked up.
Yeah, once the shitty celebrity goalkeepers got on, that was it.
Always comical. But yeah, it's been a journey, hasn't it, guys?
Yeah.
I think.
It's been emotional.
It's been
real.
Yeah, it's definitely been real. And so we've got something up our sleeves in 2 weeks' time, which we'll talk about at that point. But until then, please vote, and we'll see you next week with... I think we've got a guest on next week on the normal show. If only Craig was here to let us know. Bloody bookers and then not being here. But, that'll be a surprise for you. It's a surprise for us, it'll be a surprise for you. So we will see you in a week's time. Bye.
Cheerio. Bye.
Time for a drink at Trader Sam's.
If only.